Good morning, everyone, and welcome to AARP Alabama's plant-based cooking program. Good morning, Chef Kim. How are you?
I'm great. Glad to be here.
All right, we're glad to have you. Folks, before we get started, we want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them without regard to politics. So, folks, when the pandemic began, AARP Alabama started offering programming online so you can stay safe while still having activities at home. And we're glad to have this plant based cooking program going on. Chef Kim, can you tell us what we're doing today?
So, we're doing game day or just any day snacks. And we're going to start with some buffalo cauliflower wings and spinach and artichoke dip.
Oh, that spinach and artichoke dip is an add-on. I appreciate that. That's one of my favorites. Well, I'm
Yes,
going to get out of the way so that you can give us these tasty snacks.
great. So, I have some cauliflower florets already broken up here in the bowl. And you can buy them like this, but they're probably 3 or 4 times more expensive than if you just did it yourself. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So we're going to take the cauliflower, and here we have our seasoned flour, and you could just use AP, but this is unbleached self-rising, just for a little bit more crispiness, and so that the cauliflower will stick to the flour. Well, the flour will stick to the cauliflower a little more. We're going to add a little grapeseed oil and to it. And this also has our spice blend, but you can put any spices in here you want. Definitely salt, pepper. You want to have garlic powder or something like that. If you're an onion powder fan, have at that. So I'm going to add a little color to this, which is chili powder, or you can use paprika. So I'm going to add some chili powder in it, and it also gives it a little smokiness as well. Shake this up first, and then we're going to add our cauliflower in. And we're going to do a dry, wet, dry sort of batter. And so we have some oat milk here that we're going to dip it in for our wet batter. Okay, just trying to turn this some because we're going to cook this in the air fryer. And so all an air fryer is a high-powered convection oven. So convection ovens really don't brown, okay? Or if they do, they don't brown well, but they really don't brown. So that's why we're adding the chili powder for some color. So I'm going to toss the oil in here with the cauliflower, right? And I'm going to add a few florets to the bag. I'm just going to kind of do them in a couple batches. All right. Shake them up really well. Okay. And then going to add them to the milk. All right. And it can be a little messy, just FYI. So I've got my gloves on. So I'm just going to put the florets into the milk. And I can already see the chili powder turning things a little reddish hint to it. Okay, just want to kind of shake off as much flour as you can. It makes good batter, but at the same time, you want to make sure that it's not overpowering the cauliflower. Okay, right. So we've got that in there. I don't want to keep it in there too long. And I'm going to put it back in the flour. Okay. All right. And the air fryer, like I said, it's just going to crisp this up really nicely. You're not going to have the fattening, method of deep frying them, and you're still going to get that crisp that you like from fried foods. So, all right. So we're going to put this last little bit in here and put it back into the dry and shake it up, and we'll get it in our air fryer. Really see the spices coming through. Okay. All right. I'm going to take this glove off here. Just zip it up and shake it, just like you do or used to do fried chicken. Okay. All right. Put that aside, and we're going to get our air fryer basket. And to the air fryer basket, you want to spray a little oil in it. You can use Pam. I've just got some avocado oil spray here. And I'm going to spray the basket so that it won't stick as much. Okay. All right. Put the glove back on. Grab the florets out of the bag and get them going in the oven. And sometimes if you have an air fryer, you may line your air fryer with parchment paper or something like that. You don't want to do that with this because you want it to crisp up. So you don't want that protection layer. I know we use it with the air fryer a lot so that we don't have a lot to clean up, but this will just help. And the best way to get your air fryer clean is to do it right after you use it. That's kind of the easiest way. And you just want to kind of try to shake off as much of that flour as you can. And if you overcrowd it and have stuff 2 layers in the air fryer, they won't cook evenly and they won't all get done at the same time. So I'm trying to fill up the bottom of the basket with as much of this as I can so that we can feed as many people as we can without making 2 layers. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got that in here. We're going to put it in here on 400 for 20 minutes, but we're going to start with, we're going to turn it halfway around. Okay, so got that going. So while we're over here, we've got a lot of things going today. We're going to start our sauce. And so I'm going to turn on our burner. We've got some plant-based butter here. And to this glove, we're going to add some hot sauce. And if you eat this a lot, you probably have a favorite recipe for buffalo wing sauce. This is just a simple way to do it. So this is a pure Louisiana Crystal hot sauce, which we're not doing any special advertising for anybody, but this is one of the kinds that I like. I have about 3 different hot sauces that I like. So I'm going to put this in here, probably, I would say, 1/3 of a cup of the hot sauce, and then we'll just taste it and adjust it. We're going to melt that butter while we're going on to the next thing. So we've got our cauliflower going, so we'll move this out of the way, and we'll start on our spinach and artichoke dip. So to save time, we have gone ahead and sauteed our fresh spinach. So you like sauteed spinach? This is 2 pounds of fresh spinach, sauteed with some grapeseed oil and salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Okay, and it wilts down to nothing, as you can see. But you can use frozen spinach, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like this. I have made this for parties and different catering events, and people think that it's just the best that they've had. They wouldn't know that it was vegan, okay? And so this really, I was telling somebody asked me, well, what, it's just so creamy. What makes it so creamy? So I told her, she said, I know, but it's just something else. And so I told her I use fresh spinach. She said, that's it, because she used frozen spinach. So I've sauteed this down. And so what I'm going to do now is just chop the greens, chop the spinach, just a little rough chop, okay? All right. Just so that it will scoop nicely and you won't get a big hunk of spinach on your fork when you're getting it together. Okay. And I'm going to turn our sauce for our wings down. All right. Turn this down. Pretty warm. It's pretty good. All right. And to this, we're going to add some bell peppers. If we got red ones, that'll be great against the green. And we're going to add some scallions, some green onions. Okay. And then we're going to add our artichoke. This is frozen artichoke hearts. You can get them canned, but I really like the frozen ones better. They just are a little fresher. And of course, nothing beats fresh if you have the time to get fresh artichokes and go through that whole process. So, just want to mix this in a little bit and see if we've got a good ratio of spinach to veg. I think I'm going to go ahead and add all of this artichoke in. And it's just the hearts that I've chopped up here. And then to this, we're going to add some Parmesan cheese. This is some vegan parm. And you can add any cheese that you like to this at this point. You could add vegan feta. You could add provolone slices and, just kind of break them up, whatever you want to do. Cut that off. And then we're going to add in some vegan mozzarella, which is my favorite to use. So this really mixes incredibly well when your spinach is still warm, and mine is not. But it will go ahead and start the melting process when you have the warm spinach and the vegetables at the same time. So really simple. I'm probably going to add a little more cheese. Taste it. And it's really good. It really does not need any seasoning because the spinach has been seasoned well. So that's going to be great hot. So again, I'm going to add a little more cheese. And again, this is vegan mozzarella and vegan Parmesan. Okay. And I'm going to put this in our dish, our Pyrex dish, or glass dish, or whatever you have. If you got like a stainless steel dish you want to put things in, that works too. And Pam, or like I said, I have some avocado oil. It's good. We've got the oven already heating. It's on 425. You can put it higher than that if you're watching it, paying really close attention to it. So I'm just going to put this in here. And this would go great with some pita chips or some crostini. Of course, tortilla chips would be great. And all this is not going to fit, but put a good bit of it here. Oh, and you know what? Hey, I know this is television, but I just forgot a special ingredient. Some nutmeg. So anytime you kind of have something creamy, you want to add a little bit of nutmeg to it. It's not gonna, you think, but you probably don't even know when you've had it and it's been mixed in. So you mix that in with it really well. Just kind of balances out the cheese, the dairy, basically, even though it's not cow's milk, but same flavor profile. And then just put this back in here. Okay. And I might be able to fit it all. I want to make sure it gets melted before the show is over. Okay. All right, that's good. Just kind of spread it out on the top. And if you were using provolone, it would be great here. Like you could put some provolone slices on top and just kind of break them up. That would be really nice right there. So I'm going to taste this a little bit with the nutmeg in it. That's better. I mean, just a little hint of it, but it really makes a difference. So we're going to stick this in a 425-degree oven. I don't know if I can take that up. That's okay. So I'm going to clean up a little bit. Move to the next thing and make our sauce or our dipping sauce for our cauliflower wings.
So, Chef, there's a question that came in, and I should have asked this sooner. It's asking about the type of flour. Does it matter what type of flour you use? Can you use a gluten-free flour with your cauliflower?
Yes, you can use gluten-free. You just want it to stick. That's really what you want to do. You want it to stick to the cauliflower. So gluten-free, you can try almond flour, chickpea flour. There's all different kinds now. And there's AP flour that is gluten-free as well. So sure. I'm going to peek in. Well, we got 1 minute. I'll leave it alone. So next up, we want to make our sauce. What I have here are some raw cashews that have been soaking in water. I poured the water off, and basically this is going to be our cream sauce, or you can make a ranch with this. You can make a blue cheese out of this. This is your base, okay? So I'm going to add some water to the Vitamix.
So this is our dipping sauce for our cauliflower.
Right. So add your cauliflower. Add your water. And our timer is off, so let me check that. Okay. Check it. So it's looking good. We'll get something to kind of turn the cauliflower a little bit. Let you see it. So it's getting a little color. It's got butter flour on it, but I'm going to put it in for another 10 minutes and let it cook up really nicely. But it smells great. I don't want to knock off too much batter on that. Put it in for another 10 minutes.
I'm glad you mentioned the time on that. So that's a total of 20 minutes on our cauliflower?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's,
Right.
I see another question here. They missed the ingredients that were in the dip. I can remember the hot sauce and the butter, but I can't help them much more on that.
So the hot sauce and the butter is going to be tossed on the cauliflower, and that's going to go on the plate. And then our sauces, which is what we're making, is going to go in a little cup for you to dip it in. So if you don't want to coat the wings, you don't have to coat the wings. You could have people put their own sauce on there and have their own dipping sauce. But we're going to coat the cauliflower today. I hope that answered your question. All right. So we have water in here. We're making our sauce for the cauliflower. And I don't want to call it a dill sauce. It does have dill in it as a spice, but it's just a creamy dip for our wings. So to this, we're going to add our cashews that have been brought back. And turn this on a little bit, get them going. I knew what would happen. We need more water. Okay. And to this, I'm going to add some fresh dill.
Hey, Chef, they're asking, how long do you soak your cashews?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
How long do you soak the cashews?
So these have been soaking probably about 3 or 4 hours. You can soak them overnight. You know, just whatever your preference. I know when I soak them really long, I don't like the texture that they make, even though you're going to puree them. But I even more so don't like how they smell. So I think a quick soak is better than a long soak. So I'm going to add some fresh dill here and our spice blend. And you can add anything you want, salt, pepper, whatever flavors that you like. Okay. Make sure we have enough water. I might have to add a little more just to be on the safe side. I'm going to put this on. It's going to be loud. Whirl that up a little bit. Stop right there and knock things down and taste a little bit of it. Make sure we're on point. That's good. I'm going to add a little more seasoning. And if you got lemon, that would be great to add. I've got a couple of limes here. Add a little lime juice, just add a little acid to it. You can even add a little bit of apple cider vinegar, like a splash to this. Cut this back on. One more time. Oh, that's perfect. It's really good. It's fresh, it's light. Just gonna put this in our dipping dish. Okay. All right. And we're going to add a little bit green onion on top for decoration. Okay. And this is our platter. So we can go ahead and put it on here. clean up just a little bit. I think I'm going to turn our oven up just a tad. Any more questions?
Yeah, I think. Can you go through the ingredients one more time on what's in the dip that you made? I know you said you can use, you could serve with ranch dressing, or you could just choose whatever some of your favorite dips are for the cauliflower. But can you go through that list one more time?
Say that one more time. I didn't really
Can
get
you
that.
can you give us the ingredients you put in the dip? I remember the water, the cashews, the
So
hint of
water,
dill.
soaked cashews, um, some lemon or lime, squeeze a lemon or lime, um, fresh dill, and salt, pepper, um, garlic powder, onion powder, anything like that that you like. And if you don't want to add that, you can add some onions to it since they're going to be pureed really fine. And, it'll have the onion flavor. You could add shallots instead of onions, just anything like that. But it needs some sort of allium to give it the taste that you want. You said something about ranch. I don't know if I understood what you were saying.
Yeah, I know you started off. You mentioned that we could choose. Some people have a favorite dip that they like, and you
Right.
said something about ranch or other dips that you might like to
Yeah.
go with the cauliflower.
If they like, for instance, if you like blue cheese, you can add a vegan blue cheese. If you can't find a vegan blue cheese, you can add a vegan feta to it and sort of mimic the flavor of blue cheese. Wipe our
Those
pan
are
out.
those are great ideas.
Now, we're going to wipe our bowl out, getting it ready for our cauliflower to toss it in. See how many minutes we have left on there. Usually tells me we got 3 more minutes. So while we're waiting on that, we are going to go ahead and cut our celery, just like you have celery sticks to go with your wings for the dip. Okay. And if you don't have an air fryer, you don't have to use the air fryer, of course, but it's just kind of handy. And you can use your regular oven. If you want to fry it, you can fry them. So. Okay. And if you like carrot sticks, you can add carrot sticks to this. I'm going to set this here till we get our cauliflower wings out. I think they're good. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer the cauliflower to this bowl. And we're going to toss it in our buffalo sauce. Okay. It is warm. Wow. Okay. So this is our sauce here, buffalo sauce. And it's just butter and whatever kind of hot sauce you like. And we're going to toss and coat the wings with it. All right. Sort of make sure they're all coated nicely. And it all in all the nooks and crannies. All right. Almost got everything coated. I can smell the heat. All right. We'll just take our plate this up. All right. Just want to arrange it sort of nicely on the plate so that someone can come and grab them. Okay. I think this is almost good. All right, put a little bit more on top. Okay, oops. And we'll just add our celery to the side there. Okay. And then we will add a little bit more scallions to the top. And there you have that dish. Those are our buffalo cauliflower wings.
It looks great.
Yeah. So I'm going to put this aside and check on our. Okay, starting to get a little color on here. So just for time's sake, I'm going to pull this out. Smells really good. And the thing about vegan cheeses, they don't look melted a lot of times, but they are. But this is really good, really evenly coated and melted. I'm gonna wash this out and just gotta get a little spoon of it, full of it. Pardon my bag, you guys. Okay, and so you just stick it in, and yes, it's just nice and it's warm all the way through. It's nice and cheesy. I'm going to stick this back in for a little bit, but I just wanted everybody to get a visual of it on the finish. And that's it. There you have it. 2 easy, quick game day dishes. Great for any crowd.
That sounds fantastic, and seems like they're pretty simple recipes that we could accomplish at home.
Yes.
Well, folks, remember, if you'd like to go back and watch the episode again, you can do that both on the Facebook page, the AARP Facebook page, or the AARP YouTube channel. We'd like to thank our friends at the Alabama Extension for always allowing us to use their kitchen and for filming these episodes. We're going to watch a short video of upcoming events, and if you have any questions, just drop them in the chat box. Also, I'm going to drop a survey into the chat box, and we'd like you to complete that. Thank you. All right. Thanks, folks. Our next cooking show is going to be Friday, October 22nd, and we're going to be doing comfort food. I think we're doing soup and hot water cornbread. Until then,
Yes.
until then, take care. See you next time.
Bye bye.